Hello, Eurovision friends. Hola, Eurofans. Thank you for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. In this video, I want to talk about and analyze the Spanish entry for Eurovision 2025, which is Melody with her song Esa Diva. She won Benidorm Fest last night and will be flying the Spanish colors in Basel. As always, I will look at different aspects of the song and performance, giving points from 1 to 5, and then we'll have an overall rating. That is my personal subjective opinion of the song. Then I will try to be as objective as possible and predict how the song will do in Eurovision in the final, because obviously Spain doesn't have to qualify. And then we will also have a look at your votes and comments from the community tab of my channel. If you want to participate in that, you have to subscribe to the channel. So as always, I'm going to start with the lyrics of the song. Now, for a song like Esa Diva, the lyrics are not as important as they might be for other songs, but still they are quite interesting. She starts by singing, "Ever since I was little, before I even walked, I learned to be a star. For me, it was so normal." Now, this is the first part of the song, the first words that she utters. And the first time I listened to the song, this is what stuck with me. And I was a bit like, really, you're gonna say about yourself that you were born a star, basically? Isn't that a bit obnoxious and self-aggrandizing? However, then she talks about seeing a diva at a theater who treats people backstage badly, and the song takes a bit of a different turn from then on. She sings, "A diva is simple like a mortal. A diva doesn't step on anybody to shine," probably referencing that scene at the theater. "It's her voice that makes her great." So that's already better. But she also sings later on that she is that diva. She is simple like a mortal. She doesn't step on anybody. And it's her voice that makes her great. And again, I thought, it's nicer than the first part of the song, but it's still a bit self-aggrandizing. But then the song really saves itself because she says that a diva is so much more. She says she's the mother who wakes up early. She's the artist without a label, with money or without any luck. They are divas too. So basically, all women are divas in their own specific way. Their condition doesn't matter, she sings. It's not fame that makes you great. Equality is my prerogative, and music is my only hope. I love this part of the lyrics and how she changes the meaning of the word diva a little bit, but there's still this self-aggrandizing part in the other parts of the lyrics because she keeps repeating, "I am that diva, I am that diva." That is a bit strange to me, and it's also a bit clunky the way it is expressed, all of this. So in the end, I gave 3 out of 5 points for the lyrics, also because I'm comparing this to other songs we already have that have deeper and more meaningful lyrics as well. So she sings that a diva is great because of her voice. So let's talk about her voice. Thankfully, she has a good voice, good vocal techniques, because otherwise that part of the lyrics would not make all that much sense. I especially like the texture of her voice when she sings a bit deeper, especially at the beginning. And I also like the texture during this big climactic note that she does. That is all very good. In some parts, she is a little bit shaky, which is understandable with everything that she has to do, but still. And then for the long climactic note, I don't want to start anything, but I'm not 100% sure that that was 100% live, because you could see after that happened, she sang along to the backing singers, but you don't really hear her voice in that mix. So I'm not 100% sure, but overall, good voice, good vocal texture, a little shaky in some parts, but that's 4 out of 5 points for me for the voice. Again, this is my personal subjective opinion. Now, when we talk about the performance, I mean how the main artist, in this case Melody, performs the song, engages with the audience. I think this is so overdramatic. She is that diva. It really fits the theme of the song. She sells this 100%. She is 100% behind the song, and she wants the audience to get it. You see that, you feel it. I think there are a few things that are a bit too much, like the hair helicopter thing in the middle. She did fix a lot of the issues she had in the semis when her hair was in her face and stuff like that. I like how she's so unapologetically what she is in a way. That's great. I also like there's one moment where she kind of plays with the camera a bit, does a little smirk to the audience. I would like more of that, like more interaction between her and the camera and thus with the audience. And so in the end, I decided to give it 4 out of 5 points. I like her. She is a type. She is a diva. She does it really well. She sells it 100%, but a few things could be a bit more streamlined, maybe. Also, you kind of notice that she has to think in some parts what comes next because there's so much happening. I understand it, and with more rehearsals, that will be better. But that's the main reason why I didn't give 5 points. Maybe she will get it once she hits the Eurovision stage. Now, the staging. It's a beautiful camp mess. It's so busy. There's so much happening. She's lowered from the ceiling with a long dress. Then she lies on the floor. Then there's a dress change from black to white. Then you have this really cool effect where she's turned around by the dancers and the camera follows her. That is the highlight of the performance for me. Lots of acrobatics, lifting, being lifted into the air. This performance, in a nutshell, is kind of what people that don't really understand what Eurovision is think Eurovision is, which can be a positive or a negative. I'm actually kind of torn about it because it is so unapologetically leaning into the campiness of it all. I kind of like it, but then I also think that this has been done before. It is a bit messy. It's like they threw everything that they could think of into this performance. And I don't know, it doesn't really tell the story of the song that much, even though she is the diva. I'm torn. I'm really torn, which is why I'm giving the staging 3.5 points. So not half half. I do think that we need something like this in Eurovision. This is fun and entertaining to watch. I was entertained watching it, but I also thought, my God, what else could they have thought of and could they have done here? Now, let's get to the song. Again, this is my personal subjective opinion. To me, this is outdated Schlager. This is the kind of song that didn't really do well in Eurovision even 10 or 15 years ago. It's generic. It's kind of trite in a lot of ways. The beat is so outdated, a disco beat. The ooh, 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 the diva, diva, diva that is repeated a lot. It's this type of song has been done 100 times before. Again, I'm torn a little bit because I think Eurovision needs these kinds of songs. But here I'm really talking about my own opinion, and I just can't really get into the song. She sells it incredibly well, but this is not my cup of tea, which is why I gave it 1.5 points out of 5. Sorry. I have to say, I really want Spain to win rather sooner than later. And I was a bit sad that in the Benidorm Fest songs this year, there wasn't really something that felt like a Eurovision winner. It's been so long for Spain, and I hope they can make it happen soon. Now, the song counts 3 times, the staging counts twice, and that gives us an overall point total of 3 out of 5 points for Spain, mostly thanks to Melody and her energy and her voice on that stage. Now, before I tell you my prediction, do subscribe to this channel. Only a third of you watching this video are. Lots more analyses of songs, predictions, stuff will come out in the coming days and weeks. So do subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Now, let's get to the prediction for this. Here again, I'm a little bit torn, and I'm trying to be as objective as possible and not let my opinion of the song especially impact my prediction all too much. I think there will be lots of people in the televote that will like this kind of entry. It kind of also depends how many of these entries we will have in the final. If we have another Schlagery song, maybe Sweden chooses something like that, or Norway, that might take away from the appeal that it has as the campiness that it is. Again, I think a few people will like this, but it won't be a big televote favorite. And I also think that the juries will see the song for what it is, quite generic and something that has been done before, also not very current or modern. And so I think the juries will have this 20th to 26th, unfortunately. The televote a bit higher, 15th to 20th, but I can't really see this lighting the telephone lines on fire, to be honest, which gives us a total prediction of 17th to 24th place, depending where on the spectrum of jury and televote it will end up. That all obviously impacts the overall prediction. If you disagree with me completely, do let me know in the comments. Let me know why you think this will do much better or why you think that the song is much better, and then we can discuss it. Now, I also want to look at your votes from the community tab of my channel. We kind of agree here. We've disagreed on some of the songs this year, but here 43% of you gave it 3 stars, which is my final rating. 12% gave it 5 stars, 20% 4 stars, and 25% really don't like it that much and gave it 1 or 2 stars. Let's look at some of your comments as well. Frayola says her sheer diva power alone will secure a top 10 for Spain. Can't wait to see this in Basel. Interesting. Esoterica says, I tuned into the Benidorm final having heard literally none of the songs, and Esa Diva was my winner immediately. The aesthetic of the performance was amazing, as I love a gothic look, and melody ate that performance up. She is, in fact, a diva. I agree with that assessment. And then Blue-Eyed Aries says, I think this may very well be the year Spain breaks their curse and gets their long-awaited third win. I can't quite see that, but do let us know in the comments why you think that this kind of song can win Eurovision. Then Thunderbreaker says the song was outdated and I see it being sent to Eurovision in 2002 and doing okay. She was a little bit off in some parts of the performance, in my opinion. While on the stage, it looked like she had too many ideas at once and just meshed it all into one. In the beginning, France 2023, the dancing style Spain 2022, the thorny thing, like the chair, I guess you mean, Italy 2024. I agree with that. It felt like all the ideas they had, they included and crammed into the performance, which kind of makes it charming, but also a bit messy. Then we have Sandro. I like it in the studio version a lot, but there is something that does not come together live. The song is already dated, and I don't think the performance makes it more current. For me, it's the opposite. When I hear it in studio, I just can't. And when I see her perform, at least it gets some appeal, and I understand that they are leaning into the campiness of it all. Lelou 63 says, I don't know how to explain it, but it's one of the most average songs I've ever heard. There's nothing original, nothing really good, nothing really bad. It's just a song, okay? Then Sural says, another great mistake by Spain, another bottom 5 almost for sure, unless this is a weak season and worse songs are still to come. And to end on a more positive note, Alexis says, Melody really elevated the performance when she sang live. I didn't like the song at the beginning, but now I love it. Don't sleep on Melody Europe, because Melody seems really determined to give it all at Eurovision. A 5 stars to me. Congrats, Spain. She does seem very invested in her performance, in her song, in the staging, so that's obviously a positive. Now let me know in the comments if you have a different prediction, if you would rate the song differently, let me know, and please subscribe and come back for my next video, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.